Hi guys, I'm an artist and here to tell you the story of my failed marriage. I'm sorry I began the story in such a negative way, but it is what it is. Although my marriage ended, I can't say I'm sad about it anymore. There was a time when I thought that I would love my husband Gabe for eternity. We met on a dating site and hit it off right away. I have always been in awe of him. He's funny, clever, and a very hard worker. However, we came from very different worlds. He was a big shot engineer and worked in a big firm, and I was an artist who solely relied on the sale of her artwork. Now, let me tell you that I'm not a struggling artist. That is part of the reason why I am actually using fake names. I am by no means a household name, but I am more or less known in the art community, especially in my segment. Anyway, I'm an artist and my husband is an engineer. And for some reason, he always seemed to think that he was better than me. I will be honest with you guys, he wasn't like this when we were dating. He was a gentleman and actually showed interest in what I did. However, he soon started to show me his true colors once we got married. At first, Gabe would make small comments that could be passed off as being ignorant, but slowly over time, it progressed into something much worse. One day, he said, "Don't you think you should maybe try another skill set?" I'm sorry, I don't understand. Do you mean a different style? No, I meant a different profession, have a job or something like that. No, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing right now. Why would I want to change? Why won't you? I mean, you have me, so you never have to worry about money, but maybe you should start looking at other options so that you don't run into any financial crisis. I won't run into a financial crisis, Gabe. My work pays well. Gabe just laughed and walked away. The conversation honestly surprised me a lot. I wasn't expecting him to tell me something like this. I felt like he was somehow making fun of me and insisting that I couldn't make much money through art. I don't know what made him get that idea, and it didn't sit well with me. I was downright offended by it. I tried to bring up this topic with Gabe multiple times, but every time he would just laugh it off and act like it was not a big deal. But it was becoming a big deal to me. His words were really hurting me and blowing my self-esteem. I tried several times to tell him what I was worth, but he never bothered to sit down and listen. He often made comments like, "You're lucky to have a rich husband like me, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to maintain your hobby." My art is not a hobby, Gabe, it's my profession. Plus, I'm not dependent on you. You're not dependent on me for now. It's only a matter of time, Allison. But don't worry, I'm well prepared for it. I love you enough to take on all your responsibilities when you can't support yourself anymore. It was just plain patronizing behavior that I didn't want from my own husband. He didn't even care to sit down and listen when I tried to show him the reality. I wasn't a struggling artist. I had money and made money. I paid for my own things, although the house was Gabe's property. I could easily pay him rent, but he insisted that I don't. I paid my half of the bills and kept everything else in the savings account. Gabe also did whatever he wanted with the rest of his own money, so it wasn't like he was spending a lot of money on me or supporting me. A year passed like that, and Gabe's behavior just got worse. He would constantly make mean comments that later affected my self-esteem. I still painted and kept my profession going because I needed the money. However, that didn't stop Gabe from reminding me that I shouldn't waste so much time on something that didn't bring in much money. I stopped trying to explain my work's value to him a long time ago. I knew he would never listen, so I kind of put up with his behavior and listened to his insults. What can I say? I love that man. Things came to a head when we were invited to his Christmas family party. His family, and especially his mother Celia, loved me. She actually appreciated my work more than my husband did. And that year they were having a joint party so that the whole family could be together on Christmas. We were very excited to attend. A few days before Christmas, my husband came to me and said, "Hey, I hope you're done getting my gift." "Yeah, I'm working on it, Gabe. You don't have to worry." "I'm not worried, but you should be. I got you a very nice gift this year. It will be difficult for you to match that, so think carefully." "Oh, I think you'll like what I get you, Gabe." "If you are so sure, then good for you. But I'm just giving you a heads up. There's still time to update the gift if you want." I had already been working on the gift that I wanted to give to Gabe. I like giving people thoughtful stuff, and that Christmas I poured my heart out to create something special for him. It was supposed to include his late father who died when he was 10. I knew it was a sentimental topic for Gabe, so I wanted to do something special to surprise him and honor his father. Knowing Gabe, he had probably gotten me something expensive, so I was a little scared that he wouldn't like my gift. But I made it with lots of love, and I was hoping he would at least see that. With that stupid hope in mind, I happily went to the party with Gabe. We had a great time and enjoyed having the whole family together. Gabe was busy flexing his new promotion that he had worked hard for. And meanwhile, I stuck close to his mom and cousins and helped in setting everything up. After a delicious dinner, it was finally time to open the presents. Everyone was excited to open their gifts, and when it was my turn to open my gift, I was also pretty excited. Gabe was anxiously waiting for me to open it and see what he got me, and my gift was a beautiful gold bracelet that I absolutely loved. It was a simple chain, but I loved it anyway. After all, it was what my husband lovingly bought for me. Gabe said, "Tell me you love it, Allison. I chose it very carefully for you." "I love it a lot, Gabe. It's beautiful." "Of course you love it. That bracelet is very expensive. I went to the best jeweler I could find." "You didn't have to spend so much money on me, Gabe, but I love it anyway." "It's okay, Allison. I can definitely afford it. It might be a lot of money to a struggling artist, but not to me, so relax. It's fine." Gabe's comment rubbed me off the wrong way. I didn't know if he was joking or if it was straight up meant to be hurtful. I wanted to tell him something, but stopped myself at the last minute. It was a joyous celebration. I didn't want to spoil everyone's mood with drama, so I let it slide and didn't bother to reply. People took turns opening their gifts until it was finally Gabe's turn to see what I got him, or rather made for him. My husband seemed excited to open his gift, and I was equally excited for him. I put a lot of thought and effort into making the gift, so I really want him to like it. When my husband finally opened his gift, his excited expression changed to confusion as he looked at what I gave him. He looked at me a little unimpressed and said, "What is this, Allison?" "It's a painting I've done in secret, Gabe. I know you don't have any pictures of your father, so I dug up his old pictures and some of yours, and then I painted your favorite memory of being with your dad." "Oh my God, Allison, that is such a nice gift. You painted my husband perfectly. God, just looking at it brings tears to my eyes. It's beautiful and so thoughtful, Allison. Look at that, Gabe. Your wife gave you a priceless gift." Celia was actually crying the tears of joy and sadness as she saw my gift. Everyone else also complimented it a lot and said that it was beautiful. The only one who didn't say or do anything was my husband. Gabe was just sitting there looking at a painting like it was the newspaper or a pamphlet he was handed on the street. My heart sank as I realized that he wasn't impressed with the gift at all. And when Gabe finally graced his mom with a reply, it confirmed my doubts. He said, "I don't know what the fuss is about, Mom. I would hardly call it priceless. Anyone can make a painting like this. I bet it wouldn't even cost like $100. "Gabe, what on earth is wrong with you? Why are you demeaning your gift like that?" "You didn't like it, Gabe? I spent a long time perfecting it and put in a lot of effort to make it accurate. I thought you would appreciate it." "I don't know why you thought that, Allison. I literally gave you a gold bracelet and all you give me is a cheap piece of a painting." "Not everything can be measured with money, Gabe. I did spend a lot of my time and effort on it. It still doesn't amount to much, at least the frame looks good. Then again, I don't know what I expected from you. I know artists have it hard and can't actually spend much money on gifts. I can't really expect a beggar to spend big money on me. I was shocked and beyond hurt to hear my own husband insult me so badly. I was literally stunned into silence. I literally didn't know how I was able to hold back my tears as I sat there looking down at the ground. I heard Celia scold Gabe while he dismissed her very nonchalantly. Everyone else was giving me pitying looks and joined Celia in telling Gabe that he was being mean. But no matter how much his family defended me, it didn't make me feel any better. I was actually both hurt and super angry. Gabe had crossed the line that day. As I sat there mulling over what I should do, I saw Megan open her gift from the corner of my eyes. She was Gabe's cousin who lived abroad, and like me, she was an art student, so I thought she would appreciate my gift. Still, I was doubting myself because my own husband didn't like what I got him. And when Megan opened her gift and got that happy look on her face, I knew I selected my gift right. Megan looked super excited and said, "Thank you so much for the art supplies, Allison. I've been wanting these, but they're so expensive and way out of my budget. I see that you always have the best gifts to give, but I'm going to ask you for something extra. I hope you don't mind." "Sure. What do you want, Allison? I'll be happy to give it to you if I can." "Will you please give me an autograph if you sign a poster for me? I'll be very happy. You are my inspiration, you know." Gabe looked shocked when Megan asked for my autograph. I was feeling a little shy since I hadn't had my family actually ask for my autograph like that. But I was happy to do it for Allison, even though I was going to give Allison my autograph. I laughed and jokingly said, "Are you sure you want an autograph from a beggar? Aren't there better people to get autographs from? All I am is a poor painter." "What are you talking about, Allison? You are one of the most inspirational artists I have come across." "I highly doubt that, cousin. I know you're trying to be nice to my wife, but you don't have to be, actually." Of course, my dear husband had to swoop in and remind everyone that they don't need to say nice things to me. I was a small artist, after all. Why would anyone like my work, let alone want an autograph? Gabe was confident that Megan was only saying these things to make me feel better. What bugged me about this was that even Gabe knew that his words were hurtful. But he simply didn't care. He was having way too much fun in demeaning me. I was getting really irritated, but it's not in me to shout and yell at people to prove a point. Instead, I let Megan lead the way. She didn't disappoint when she angrily looked at Gabe and said, "Why do you have to butt into every conversation, Gabe? This is between me and Allison. You can shut up and go annoy someone else." "Whatever, Megan. I'm not interested in hearing your useless stuff anyway." "Good for you, Gabe. Now, Allison, I have this poster of your artwork that I got at one of your exhibitions. Can you sign that for me? Also, I got my best friend's poster as well. She will be thrilled if you sign hers." "Of course, Megan. I'll be happy to do that. It's not a problem at all." "Oh, God, I can't believe this. I finally got your autograph. Believe me, Allison, I will treasure this." "It's just an autograph, Megan. I'm sure there are better artists around there who will be equally happy to give their autographs. You are just being humble because of my stupid cousin. Me and my friends are kind of obsessed with you, actually. They couldn't believe it when I told them that you are my sister-in-law." Megan was seriously happy to express her fascination with me. It warmed my heart, especially because she was a good artist herself. I felt really happy after a long time because someone close to me was finally appreciating my work. I realized then that I was so used to being criticized and made fun of by my husband that I had lost all my own self-respect. I also stopped thinking that people actually liked my work. That was one of the saddest things I had felt in my life. My husband, of course, didn't take the hint at all and kept saying, "Oh, come on, Megan. Now, that is a little too far-fetched. You seriously don't have to flatter her so much. She can handle the truth, cousin. Who says I'm flattering her, Gabe? My words are pretty genuine. You are the one who needs to hear some hard truths. Oh, really? What hard truths do I need to know, Megan? The fact that your wife is actually a very talented artist and not some useless beggar like you make her out to be. God, I'm even ashamed to have such an uncultured cousin like you. Hey, watch it, Megan. I am not uncultured. I know a lot about art, too. I'm not that dumb. Oh, please, Gabe. You are the one flattering yourself now. You have the artistic skills of a 5-year-old. Actually, even 5-year-olds can be more artistic than your mechanical brain. Gabe's face after this comment was absolutely hilarious. He was shocked that Megan would insult him like that. What she said wasn't really a lie anyway. Gabe is simply not an artistic person, which I'm sure is pretty evident in his hate for artists. Still, he always stupidly tried to claim expertise in art as if he had studied it with a passion. He was a big show-off and never really got called out for it before this. However, now his own cousin was calling him out in front of his whole family. I didn't even have to do anything to defend myself. Everyone swooped in to defend me and berate Gabe for being such a horrible husband. Gabe's ego was now seriously hurt and he looked offended. He said, "That was very rude, Megan. You know that I was an absolute A student and always got the highest grades among everyone here. I even work in a very high position too. I'm more qualified than all of you. You cannot insult me like that." Oh, shut up, Gabe. Enough is enough. I can't believe you couldn't tolerate your wife getting some attention and well-deserved praise for 2 minutes. You were the one who started with the insults after Allison gave you such a beautiful gift. But Mom, I didn't say anything wrong. I gave her a diamond bracelet and all she gave me was a stupid little painting. I mean, I know she's poor, but seriously? Have you forgotten what the spirit of Christmas is actually about, Gabe? Is it about who gives the most expensive gift? Also, why do you think handmade gifts are stupid? Just look at the painting, Gabe. It's beautiful and so thoughtful. The fact that you think this is a stupid little painting tells everyone enough about how much you actually appreciate your wife. Gabe was now starting to feel the heat. Family members already had enough of his antics and rude behavior, so they started to berate him altogether. The fact that Celia was telling him exactly how stupid and underappreciative he is made everything so much worse for Gabe. He was having a hard time defending himself. He was slowly getting angry and finally said, "You guys are being ridiculous. I know you're trying to support my wife and all, but that doesn't mean you can make up stories about how successful she is." Who said we're making up stories? God, you still think your wife is a useless painter, don't you? I can't believe this. Gabe, I have eyes, but I don't have much knowledge about art. I can also tell that Allison is a good artist. She has gifted me and my friends several small paintings that they have proudly hung on their walls. You are being a vile man, Gabe. You guys are all faking your love for these paintings. I love my wife too much to lie to her about her worth. I mean, a lot of people can paint like this. That doesn't mean anything. No matter what, Allison will always be a broke painter while I provide everything for her. Gabe was again making himself out to be the man of the house and the breadwinner. This didn't sit well with me either. I paid an equal contribution to the house just like he did. What I didn't do was waste money on frivolous things like he did. The only place where I invested my money was in my work supplies. Painting materials can be extremely expensive, so I used my fun money on that and kept the rest of it away in personal savings. But Gabe took it as a sign that I'm broke and don't have much money. It was just plain stupid. I was extremely offended and said, "Why do you act like I don't contribute anything to the household? I pay my fair share to live with you. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have the savings and resources that I have for rainy days. When we land in trouble and when you finally run out of money, I will be the one to pull you out of financial debt. I think you underestimate how much I actually make from my paintings, Gabe. It's funny how little respect you have for me and my work. Can you argue with that, Allison? I mean, how much do your paintings cost anyway? Do people even bother to buy them? Gabe gave me a nasty smirk that basically said that he knew I couldn't refute that fact. But how was I going to explain how wrong he was? I didn't like him anyway. I didn't want to publicly declare how much I actually make through my work. I don't feel comfortable telling everyone that. So I was preparing myself to tell Gabe that I would show my bank balance to him in private, along with the prices of my paintings. But I didn't even have to do that because Megan spoke for me. Again, she looked at Gabe with the most surprised expression on her face and said, "Tell me you're joking, Gabe. Do you seriously think that Allison's paintings don't sell? You have got to be kidding me. I know how artists have to beg people to buy their art. I see plenty of artists sit on the streets and sell paintings for like $20. Seriously, Gabe, $20? Is that what you think your wife's paintings are worth? Oh boy, you have no idea, do you? Wait, let me show you." Megan was laughing her butt off as she showed him how much my paintings are truly worth. She gave Gabe her phone and he scrolled through them to see what the hype was all about. I watched as his eyes bulged out of his sockets as he looked at the price tags in disbelief. He glanced at me once and returned looking at the phone screen. Everyone else got to know about the worth of my paintings too. They congratulated me and praised me for being such an established artist. Meanwhile, my husband just sat there looking a little defeated and didn't say much. After the dinner was over, we went back to our own house. This entire time, my husband didn't say a word to me. He was quiet and wasn't even looking at me. I didn't bug him because I knew his ego was hurt. I was also already very angry and offended at him for thinking so poorly of me and my art. So I thought it would be best if we remained quiet, especially when we were on the road. When we finally reached home and changed, my husband came to me looking a little embarrassed and said, I had no idea that you were such a talented artist." "Oh, so now you think that I am actually talented? Good to know, Gabe. And by the way, can I have my painting back? I'm honestly not very thrilled to give away my hard work to someone who doesn't even care. I will get you something better. You can go and pick out your gift tomorrow." "Oh, that's all right. I don't need anything else. I'm happy with my gift." "What happened, Gabe? Now that you know how much my work is actually worth, have you started to like it?" No, I think your gift was truly thoughtful. I love it. Maybe I'll hang it somewhere around the house." "Don't make me laugh, Gabe. Give me my painting back. Since you never appreciated it, I don't think you should have it." "Look, Allison, I'm sorry. I just didn't think." "What? You didn't think that I am actually talented and can earn money? Did you marry me so that you can stroke your ego for being the breadwinner?" Guys, I was raging mad at my husband. I really didn't want to make a scene at my in-laws' house, especially at a Christmas party, so I kept quiet. Now that we were home, I had no problem giving him a piece of my mind. Gabe was looking really uncomfortable because he knew he messed up. He kept backtracking and said, "You know, I'm not that well versed in art and all. Even Megan said that today. You should give me a break for not knowing." "The thing is, Gabe, I put in a lot of effort to make you the gift, and you simply discarded it because you thought it wasn't worth a lot of money. I really didn't know that I was marrying such a shallow man, but that's on me. I should have seen this coming." "Come on, Allison, I made a mistake. I promise I'll never talk about your art that way again." "Your promise means nothing to me anymore, Gabe. All these years, I had enough of you belittling me and demeaning me. You have no respect for your own wife and think all of this will be fixed with a single story. What else do you want me to do, Allison? I said I'm sorry." "Too bad that's not going to help you anymore, Gabe. I won't stay in a marriage where I am constantly made to feel small and useless. I'm done with you and your huge ego. I will be moving out as soon as possible. Gabe's eyes went wide because he hadn't expected me to pull the plug on our marriage. And to be honest with you guys, I was actually considering it for a while. But I was still holding on to the hope that my husband would stop being mean and eventually realize his mistake. I was actually willing to have a conversation about this until he horribly belittled me in front of his whole family. The only reason he was apologizing to me was because he finally learned that I earn good money. Even then, his blatant disrespect for me and his annoying superiority complex really rubbed me off the wrong way. He showed his true colors in this marriage, and I wasn't interested in being with someone so shallow and superficial as him, so I made the hard decision of separating from him. My husband begged and cried and did everything possible to try and stop me. However, I was simply not having it. He had really hurt me deeply, and I knew that there was no coming back from this, so I eventually moved out and filed for divorce. While we were separated, I finally realized what a bad influence he was in my life. After getting married to him, I was constantly anxious, and my self-confidence dipped dangerously low. I was having a hard time believing in myself because of how Gabe would constantly make fun of me and my skills, and now that I know what it truly feels to be free and in a positive environment, there was no way I was going back to that toxic marriage. Gabe was still shattered over my decision to divorce. The worst thing was that he didn't think he did anything that bad. It was enough for me to see how he was downplaying his own mistakes to get out of serious consequences. That made me hate him even more. His own family was also seriously angry at him, and even his mom wasn't talking to him anymore. She actually went to his house and took back the painting that I gave her, saying that he clearly doesn't deserve it. I was happy that Celia got the painting because she was the one who was moved the most after seeing it. She also gave Gabe a bad scolding before telling him that she didn't want to hear from him right now. She also told him how he would regret his actions because he would never find someone like me. I'm really happy to say that Gabe's family actually stood by me through it all. Eventually, Gabe and I got divorced, and I got a good settlement out of it. He was sad, although I don't know if it was about his money or me. He has been pretty isolated from his family, who are still mad at him. I heard that he's no longer invited to parties because people are done with his awful behavior. So he's back to being lonely in his house and sometimes texts me begging to come back. I have no intention of doing that because I have finally surrounded myself with people who appreciate me. I am glad I was able to prove my worth to Gabe and got out of that nasty marriage, showing him that I didn't need him to survive.